Very good evening. I'm Mark Seal with your Lime Sports World. West Indies have won the toss and have decided to field first on day one of the first test against hosts New Zealand at University Oval. The Kiwis, though, have started steadily, being 91 without loss, approaching the lunch interval. Hamish Rutherford was on 58. Now, as far as the Windies team is concerned, Kurt Edwards has gotten the nod to replace the injured Chris Gayle at the top of the order. Edwards hasn't played Test cricket in a year and a half, and obviously will be looking to grab this opportunity. Now, it appears as if cricket lovers in Barbados won't be able to see this series on television. None of the usual cricket broadcasters like ESPN and Sportsmax is scheduled to air live or tape-delayed coverage, nor even highlights of the 3 tests, 5 ODIs and 2 T20s. Now, if things change, it will be through Sportsmax, who have been in negotiations with the host broadcaster and rights holder in New Zealand. However, a contact at the Jamaica-based media house has told CBC Sports that although they haven't given up, it's looking more and more unlikely that a deal will be struck. It's now about 2 hours into that 6-week tour, and the West Indies are hoping for a change in their fortune after their disappointing performance in India. CBC's Shane Jones looks at their chances in this series.
Out of the searing Indian heat and into chilly and breezy New Zealand. How well the West Indies perform in this first test will heavily depend on how quickly the squad adapts to the weather conditions. The crushing test defeat in India was a huge blow to team morale, and the Windies will have to somehow put a series that has just finished completely out of their minds and get on with the task ahead. The last series the Kiwis hosted, they were highly competitive against a strong English unit, and the Windies, without the likes of Chris Gayle, Kemar Roach and Ravi Rampal, should be wary of this fact. While Shane Shillingford has been bowling exceptionally well and Sunil Narayan has been added to the squad, the groundsmen in Dunedin have prepared a grassy surface to support their solid seam attack, including the likes of Tim Southey, Neil Wagner and Trent Bolt. This will put pressure on a Windies order starved of big totals and also facing the dilemma of starting the series with only one genuine opening batsman, as Craig Brathwaite is still not in New Zealand due to issues surrounding securing a visa. Kieran Powell and young Darren Bravo will have to have a top series if the Windies are to do well. Shiv Chandra Paul will make his usual solid contributions, and the Caribbean cricketers will be hoping Marlon Samuels comes good this time around. For me, the spotlight will be on Tino Best and Captain Darren Sammy. Best will be the spearhead of the pace attack, and it will be interesting to see how he performs in this capacity. Darren Sammy will be playing this series with his future in mind. He knows his personal contributions in Test cricket have been under heavy scrutiny, and now is the time for him to step up and be counted. Shane Jones, CBC Sports.
Well, thanks, Shane. And the West Indies have struck on day one of that first test. New Zealand, they're now 95 for 1. Rutherford, he's the man out. He's gone for 62. In more cricket news, COB Wesley Hall will have to go through Eden Lodge if they're to repeat as champs of the Guardian General Herman Griffith Primary Schools cricket competition. Those 2 schools are into the final after semi-final victories today. Now, first at Dover, in a repeat of last year's final, Wesley Hall defeated Baileys by 3 wickets. Baileys made 124 for 6, with Romario Mears Aline top scoring with 25 and Thierry Walcott taking 3 for 22. Wesley Hall in response made 125 for 7, with skipper Rivaldo Clark unbeaten on 48. Meanwhile, at Friendship, Eden Lodge had an easier time in defeating St. Christopher by 7 wickets. St. Christopher got up to 87 for 6 off their 25 overs. Yakim Ford made 27, but Eden Lodge replied with 92 for 3 off 12.3 overs, led by Shaquille Paris's 20. Now, that Wesley Hall Eden Lodge final will be at 10 a.m. Thursday at Bank Hall, with the defending champions going for their 10th overall title, while it'll be the first appearance in a final for Eden Lodge. The Caribbean cricketers who didn't get much playing time or who didn't perform well in the last Indian Premier League may be cut for 2014. That's because the international cricketers playing in the IPL may be reduced next season. That and other proposals were made during a 2-day IPL workshop in Singapore late last week. If approved, the number of players in the squad is likely to be reduced from 33 to 27, and the number of foreign players will be cut from 11 to 9 per team. However, the top international players will have a better chance of being retained. IPL franchises are likely to have two options available to keep the core of their teams intact, either via the usual practice of player retention or through a new system of right-to-match cards that can be used during the auction. A team is expected to be able to retain up to 5 players, while the IPL has recommended 3 right-to-match cards be awarded to each franchise, which means that up to 8 players could be retained, salary cap permitting, of course. The auction is likely to be held on February 12th and 13th next year. The 2-man Barbadian weightlifting team is back in Barbados after copying 2 medals at the just concluded Commonwealth Weightlifting Championships in Malaysia. Ivor McNee had just missed out on the gold medal in the 105 kilogram weight class. He said he wasn't exactly happy with his performance.
I'm not too pleased, but I still feel good about it, saying that I still got the silver under the circumstances and stuff. I think I missed the 200 clean and jerk. I thought I actually got it clean easily, but I just rushed it a bit. But the positive that I can take away from it is that saying that I felt so weak, and stuff, I still performed creditably.
And Brian Best, who also took the trip to Malaysia, got a bronze in his youth category.
Didn't hurt my arm. I could have come a second, but hurt it, so I got a bronze.
What do you think you need to work on in terms of improving and so on?
Upper body strength, legs good, arms weak.
Okay, so what's next for you?
Right now we're going to Puerto Rico tomorrow for the Creole Cup. That's next for us.
No, it was the CBC 11 that came out victorious in the first World AIDS Day women's cricket match over a Celebrity 11 at the Polytechnic ground yesterday. It was a 10-overs-a-side match that saw celebrities being sent into bat first. CBC Sean Green reports.
CBC's Dion Lopez bowling to BCA's Roxanne Fort, who pulls out to mid-wicket to Melissa Fumbelina Farley, and they get off the mark. This is Anne-Marie the Spinner Burke bowling some medium pace to Diamond International Simone Ward, and is caught by Sharika Lopez for 7. It's 18 for 1. Didi Winston came on to bowl and accounted for the wicket of Simone Harris for 5, stumped by Lopez. The umpire said, "Yes, you're out," and she didn't want to leave, but Farley points her way to the pavilion. It's 37 for 2. Yatanya Wiggins came out next and skied a catch off Kim Seeley. VC editor Don Grinish comes around and puts in a dive after the ball had passed. Oh, that's 4 to Wiggins. Didi to Wiggins again. She pulls and Farley settles and oops, she grasped it. But not only was her pride hurt, but her leg and ankle as well. Can we get a stretcher? Hey, and speaking about a stretcher, Jennifer Walker's stumps needed one, put to death by Lopez for 5, as the Celebs got up to 86 for 3 in their 10. St. John MP Mara Thompson was one of the opening bowlers, and Kim Seeley wasn't messing around. A good solid pull through mid-wicket for 4. The skipper, Walker, brought herself on and took care of Seeley, torpedoing for Andrea Taylor to take a stupendous running catch. Let's take another look. A slight drizzle came to the ground to witness the batting of Anne-Marie Burke, trying to steal a not-so-quick single. She's run out for a duck. Well, maybe she didn't want to get wet. Oh, this brought in skipper Sonia Thompson to face her namesake, Mara Thompson, and this sales rep was buying what the MP was offering up. She cashed in with a big 6. But Thompson, that's Mara, got rid of Lopez all by herself, caught and bowl, and Thompson and the Celebs celebrate at 48 for 3. This brought in the hard-hitting Didi Winston, and she had little respect for the MP, really connecting with this one. You go, girl. Hey, you can take a bow. Here comes Andrea Taylor, and there goes Andrea Taylor. That's another 6 to Didi. Taylor tries another full toss, but guess what happened next? Another pull, another 6.
This one going towards the dairy, maybe trying to send a message to the bowler. TC is brought into the attack, and it made little difference to Didi, pulling out to Alison Hines, who's running for all she's worth. But it's too late, Soca Queen, that's 4. And the end came here, the skipper, Thompson, collecting a single and the winning run as the CBC 11 won by 7 wickets. A good day of fun for the ladies, all for a worthy cause. Sean Green, CBC Sports.
Yes. And the match was in support of the HIV/AIDS Food Bank, and spectators did donate canned items and dry goods to the cause. Michelle Arthur here making me laugh. She didn't play. I don't know why she's laughing.